Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Friday, January 30th, 2027. 2026? I don't know. 2026. The price of Bitcoin is $84,097. And I'm joined by Ben Ark. How's it going, Ben?
Hey Thomas, how are you?
We just got word that the Justice Department has dropped three more volumes of Epstein files, and you can search them live. So we thought it'd be fun to just drop right into it. Ben's going to search for Bitcoin. So far, I've been searching for Satoshi.
Yeah,
Anyone
so
can search this library at the DOJ at justice.gov/Epstein, not insider information at all.
no,
Go ahead,
so we
Ben.
were at I think where it started was we just did our show, and in it we were saying about how I was looking through the Epstein files because I thought, well, this guy might have a Bitcoin wallet in those 3 million files. So I was just searching to see if I could find them, and certainly looking at that kind of treasure trove of information with all those connections to all these kind of rich, influential people around the world isn't to downplay the crimes which he did. It's just looking at it through that lens of Bitcoin and seeing, well, what, was there any relationship with this guy and Bitcoin? And I think we kind of found some pretty juicy little tidbits of information, which kind of builds something of a story, which, obviously our interest is on this show is Bitcoin. So we look at everything through a Bitcoin lens. So yeah, it's not to downplay any of the crimes and victims, etc. But it's certainly interesting when you start searching through these files and search for keywords like Bitcoin. What did you get when you searched for Satoshi, Thomas?
Well, even just the very idea of searching through someone else's email is pretty unsavory. Although
Yeah,
it does
that's
kind
true.
of remind me of the work I used to do at the law firm, where this would happen, many times throughout cases. So you can just search right here through the thing. It says Satoshi. There's only 24 results. Pretty interesting stuff. I also like they have another one that's a little better interface. We might try that later. They've got a interesting document about QAnon that mentions Bitcoin. It's from the Prophecies of Q and has lots of Q details. It has Bitcoin in there, saying that Satoshi is the name by the creator. A lot of the files in here are PDFs and things that were sent to Epstein by people probably trying to get him to pay them money or to raise money and funds. He was a financier. There's an additional file here. It's pretty hard to read. It's Quora Digest. Bitcoin is constantly on the rise. Will it ever crash? It's also interesting to see he's getting like email subscriptions and other things that mention Bitcoin. So he's certainly interested in it from the beginning. Here's an email from July 15th, 2015, pretty early for Bitcoin, from Jeremy Rubin to Joy Ito, CC'd to Epstein, and they're talking about the Sand Hill exchange that Ben was talking about. This one seems to be a joke about Nile coin or Nila currency, the first completely valueless currency. And it seems to be a joke here that if Nil coin ever even achieve the nominal value of a mere Satoshi, Iranian rial, or Farmville dollar, our exchange would quickly become one of the biggest threats facing financial regulators. So it's kind of a joke about nil coin, and it's just interesting to see these guys joking. This one
Yeah,
was another.
Jeremy Rubin is if you could you go back to if you keep your screen on, that's probably best. And then if you go back to the search on the Gov website there, would you mind doing that for me? And then if you search for well, first open, could you right click and open that first PDF in a new tab, please? And we'll save that one.
Let's
Just
see,
right click and open it as a new tab.
the first
And then
one.
and then go back to the page. Maybe if we just open these all up as tabs, separate tabs, and then we can scroll through them.
Yeah,
So yeah, so if you go back to the yeah, that's it. And then if you search for Jeremy Rubin, now Jeremy Rubin's a great guy, by the way. I have a lot of respect for him. Um, okay, here we go. And then if we
747 results.
so maybe if we go open up that first one in a separate tab, and then let's open up the first three, I suppose. Um,
2016. It also has the data set here. Data sets 9, 10, and 11 are the new data sets that were just released today. So
okay.
less
Okay.
people have probably looked at these than maybe the other earlier data
Scroll this.
sets.
This is interesting. Super. Thank you. Oh, this is two from. Go to scroll down. Um,
It looks like they want a private mailing address from Jeffrey's sent to Jeffrey's attorney. So this is just they're trying to get them to invest in their exchange. Jeremy Rubin
Perhaps no.
Price is going to send the information.
Jeremy Rubin wasn't making an exchange.
Uh, Here's
Jeremy
his
Rubin.
address.
He wrote the proposal for CTV. I think these are unrelated. These are probably go further back. So go back to the tab with the with all the PDFs on.
Right.
Okay, right there. Let's have a little look. We'll just sort of scroll through and see if there's anything. Maybe if you go, I found go down.
Yep. Planning to be there. Mail should be sent. Just
So there's a lot
interesting.
of correspondence between Jeremy Rubin and Epstein. If you go down.
Mm.
Okay, just go to maybe go to like the fifth one along here. It says it's 5.
So one about how they plan to be there, if you can make it.
So this is a meeting, isn't
Can
it?
you meet him tomorrow at his house? Much appreciated. Meeting with Paul,
Oh,
JP
okay,
Morgan
go.
Asset Management. Interesting.
Well, this might not be our Jeremy Rubin, to be fair. So maybe we should search for Jeremy Rubin Bitcoin, so we don't just get all the Jeremy Rubins. It's kind of probably quite kind of a common name.
It is hard because they've redacted the email, so you can't judge by the email.
So Jeremy Rubin Bitcoin.
No results found. This might not be a very good search.
Right, try type
But
in Jeremy Rubin. I found
generally, you
one.
can just search for
Just type
Bitcoin.
in type in Jeremy Rubin Bishop, because there's one with Brian Bishop. There's a thread with Brian Bishop, which is interesting. See if that comes up. Oh, maybe it doesn't do 3 words. Just type in Rubin Bishop.
It's just not a very good search engine.
I had
Bishop's
much
going
better
to be
results
too
coming
many
through.
bishops. Yeah.
Brian Bishop.
Oh. They just need a better search engine for this. There's one they're working on as well. I just had it up. JWorld. Let's see. Where'd that go?
We found, if you type in, we found an interesting one with Amir Taki mentioned, didn't we? That's the earliest I could find. So you could search up Taki. I'm just more interested whether you're getting separate results, different results to me.
Oh, that would be bad. Let's see. So this is the one we saw before. Interesting folks. Here's looks like this is a new one. Let's see. Meet with your secretary about Bitcoin. This is 2011. Look at this. 7/7/2011. Now the last one of our meetings in our group. Oh, this is Amir writing to looks like he's writing to Jeffrey directly. He's using the alias Jen Jinx.
I like the way he's signing it off as Bitcoin, like he's just from Bitcoin.
Yeah, Amir talking Bitcoin. And again,
Search,
this isn't really to paint Amir in a bad light. He's just trying to get money from a financier here. This is a rich financier. They want to build an exchange. They want to do some things.
I
But,
think so. Yeah. I'm trying to find
we don't know for sure. We don't know either way, but we don't want to. I think what's interesting here is that he's using this alias, and then we can take this alias, we can put that into the search.
Maybe you could scroll out a little bit on your browser because it's quite hard to
Oh,
see.
so much for them blocking out email addresses. -1 for the editing out email addresses. We can see this is Jen Jix, Jix at riseup.net. I think that's an anonymous emailer or something like that that perhaps Amir was using back in the day. But now they can see they want you to come to New York. Says we'll be in touch. Next week works perfectly. So yes,
This is
Amir.
this is mid June 2011.
This is 2011. This is June, and yeah, 2011. Amir is planning to meet with Jeffrey Epstein in New York City. Let's see. We have more emails. How many? There are 28 results for Gen JIX, which is
Could
the
you could you see could you zoom out a little bit with the browser there? Is that possible?
for what? These things?
No, I mean like just zoom out because we see more of the page, more of the results.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna have to go through them. I mean, hello, Jeffrey. Oh no, it looks like he sent a blank email. Donald Norman, he should give you a call soon. He's trying to get a new SIM card.
So who's Donald Norman? Can we search Donald Norman Bitcoin? Just Google Donald Norman Bitcoin. I think he set up a company with Amir Taki early on.
Let's see. It's a London-based entrepreneur, Bitcoin advocate who founded the Intersango Bitcoin exchange with Amir Taki around 2011 to 2012. Intersango. Looks like he also sued the exchange. They came to them. The idea came to them when they were in Amsterdam. It's interesting. I wonder if they were at the Bitcoin meetup or the Bitcoin ATM there in Amsterdam. So he's trying to get a new SIM card. Next week works well. Anytime is fine. Tonight or tomorrow. So it's all pretty much them trying to meet with Amir to talk about Bitcoin. So pretty
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
yeah. And I think when I looked before, I think it looked like the Donald Norman guy. Oh, this is an interesting one, Thomas. Let me see if I can
Hmm.
share screen here. Um,
Let's see, just a
send
second.
request to share screen.
Turn this off. Multiple participants can share screen. There you go. That's right.
Fantastic. I'll just share desktop. That probably makes sense. Okay, so oh yeah, so there's within the data, there's a whole bunch of decks and investor reports. It's an investor update here, which you usually get if you're like an investor in a company. And there's one here from Cryptocurrency Partners, and it looks like kind of an early on document. But if we scroll down, we have, so they invested in a whole bunch of companies, Zappo, LedgerX, Kraken, GoCoin. So we can only assume that, I mean, was forwarded at some point this investor update, and it became part of, the data he had. Whether or not that means he was an investor in Cryptocurrency Partners, but there's a few kind of documents like that. Like I found one for Coinbase as well. There's lots of, seems to get forwarded a lot of Bitcoin emails or emails related to Bitcoin by people. There's another one here from 2012. So the sort of,
I have a kind of an interesting email I found, Ben. For your
wait, let
screen
me
share, it
get,
looks like it's sharing only part of the screen. I'm not sure if it's refreshing properly, but check out
oh,
this, Ben. This is April 19th, 2014. This is Jeffrey Epstein writing to
wait there,
Jen Jinx
let me stop
that
sharing
is
so I can see it.
that Amir Taki is, we believe, using as an alias in this files. Epstein writes to Taki, he says, "Are you still playing in the Bitcoin space? Where are you? I have Andy back on my island this weekend."
Who's Andy back?
Who's Adam back?
Andy back? Who's Andy back?
Who knows? Maybe he means Adam. This could mean that Adam back. Sorry, Adam, I don't want to do this to you. This could mean that Adam back went to Epstein's island. Again, we think looking for financing for Bitcoin projects. We think nothing toward. We know nothing about this, allegedly,
Could
etc.
you, but
According to
why would
this
he?
email here,
Why would
or
you get this? How would he get the name muddled up though? Can you search Andy Back Bitcoin? Just Google
I'm going
search
to
Andy
search for
Back
Andy
Bitcoin.
back Bitcoin. It
Just
actually
on just on Google.
it Googles it corrects to Adam back. So, um, yeah, that's not so good.
I don't like
And
this.
yeah, yeah. So there you go. That's why you shouldn't look in these files. Yeah, I'm searching. I'm not finding an Andy Back who works in Bitcoin. Again, this is a just a very short Google search.
And
But
we can also, I mean, so I suppose we could take from that in 2014, he doesn't know what he's talking about because you wouldn't call him Andy back. Although I did notice there's lots of spelling errors and kind of rushed emails sent from Epstein in those threads. But yeah, either he doesn't know his real name, or maybe he's trying to hide his real name. And then, yeah, the other one would be, uh, God, that's weird, isn't it? Andy Back. Who could Andy Back be?
well, let's see.
And
Let's keep searching through these emails. Let's see what's going on here. They're talking about the meeting. I'm gonna start closing these emails, except for the super interesting one. Okay, so we're gonna keep that one. Donald Norman, give him a call. This is the same thing. So it's so funny. And again, I found this when I was working for the lawyers, how uninteresting emails are. Here's
yeah,
another version of that email.
where
Maybe
did you got this? Did you get this? You got this from the Justice thing. We also have to, I suppose, stipulate that this information is coming from the Department of Justice, so we don't know,
yeah,
you
we've
know,
been provided this
what's
information
real
by
and
the
what's not
Department of
real.
Justice. We don't have any
Yeah.
way of knowing anything. But again, here's just Amir trying to make the appointment with Jeffrey, trying to make the appointment,
Yeah, it seems
and
like
then
they weren't very good at making an appointment with Epstein. But the 2014 is when he started chatting away to Jeremy Rubin a lot about Bitcoin. I did find a bunch of juicy emails, which were they were kind of technical. Like they were talking about technical stuff, which I thought was really interesting. I'll see if I dig them out now. Um,
still looking through these emails, not finding anything new. And again, the only kind of clever thing we did here is to pick out that according to these files, and again, we have no additional information, that Amir seems to be using the alias Jen Jinx. Uh,
um, Thomas, let me share
mm,
screen again.
right.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Seems like parts of it are blacked out, but I think we can see it. I'm not sure if it's coming through at home. Let me check.
I think we should have a meeting with Jeremy Rubin, Adam Back. Right there. That's what's open this one up. This is dataset 11. Is this the more recent one, is it?
Yep, data set 9, 10, and 11 were all released today.
This is CC Epstein. This may also be I think that this the company deck which I shared, which is in here, cryptocurrency partners. I think one of their investments was Blockstream. Um, Brian Bishop to Jeremy Rubin, CCing Jeffrey Epstein here. Okay, so we're saying so. Jeremy, thank you for the email. It's always a pleasure to run into you in every context. It's nice to meet Jeffrey. I noticed on your Wikipedia article that you and I share Ben Gortzel in common. Is this from to Jeremy Rubin from Brian Bishop? Okay, so we should search Ben Gortzel and work out who that is. I wasn't expected to see him around these parts. He and I share many motivations, beliefs in the future. To the open letter that Jeremy mentions, it's still in progress. Some explanatory text that we're going to be sending out to other Bitcoin core developers. So he's CCing Jeffrey Epstein in, they're talking about like technical open letters. Also, this is around regulation. So the CTFC, we probably spoke about this on the show, or you probably spoke about this on the show at the time, and it's around regulation on Bitcoin. It's quite a lengthy letter here. Here's a direct one. Hi, Jeffrey, Joy. Brian CC'd us in doing some work looking at how the CFTC is trying to regulate Bitcoin options trading. See his note to me below. So the CFTC is making a decision by the end of the month about whether to regulate Bitcoin options trading. So whether or not Jeffrey Epstein was maybe an options trader for Bitcoin. I'm not sure. It's interesting. My hunch is that regulation would be bad, but opening but option trading is good. Bitcoin accepting companies suffer because they can't stomach the volatility without options. There are workarounds to get the best of both. Best from Jeremy. So here's kind of like a direct thread between Brian Bishop, Jeremy Rubin, and then also CCing Jeffrey Epstein and this Joe Chi guy. Whether or not Jeffrey Epstein was maybe an investor, sometimes when you have an investor, you forward them a lot of stuff. So it might be related to that. I think we should definitely, as much as I don't want to. So where is this? Here we go.
Well, Ben, why don't you
So
look at that for a little bit, and I'll continue down the Amir thread. It's not
yes.
that much, but it does seem like there's from a technical standpoint, I think that there's at least two different versions of the emails in here, and I also think that the redactions have been done poorly yet again. This email, I don't know why this is coming up. Well, actually, I do know because it's text. The text is highlighting, so the text is probably under there. So Amir's email alias allowed me to search for this, despite the fact that his email alias doesn't seem to be visible on the page. So, in addition to leaking Amir's email in here and his email alias, it also seems text searchable, even beyond the redactions. So, F plus, it's the FBI. Anyway, the email is to Jeffrey Epstein from presumably Amir Taki. He says, "Hi, how have you been? I just wanted to send you this. It's a link to the BBC, it's an article." And then they talk about it, but it's interesting because it follows on a thread where Epstein seems to be talking to allegedly Amir's partner, Donald Norman, in the exchange company they were building together. And it's kind of funny because Epstein, who again is accused of many crimes and so forth, it kind of says to them that I suggest that you review the laws on money laundering, money transmitting business, gambling, Patriot Act, tax on barter clubs, virtual currency tax, conspiracy rules. A tax attorney and criminal attorney would be advisable to consult. So it's kind of funny to see them going back and forth, and this man who's certainly accused of so much more, worried about money laundering laws and
Oh,
so forth. So
go back to that last email.
sure. Hmm.
Okay, so hi Jeffrey, this is Donald. It was nice to meet you. So clearly this is in 2011, he actually met with July 9th, he must have met with this Donald Norman guy who
And
was
to be
working
clear,
on the
not Donald Trump. This is Donald Norman, not the
Donald
same,
Norman.
not a different
And this
Donald.
is
Certainly.
probably because he was investing, or maybe he was going to invest in their Bitcoin exchange, which they were building at the time. So it certainly doesn't implicate them in anything.
Yeah. Do you want to read Donald's message that he wrote to Epstein? He says, "This is
Oh,
from
yeah.
allegedly Donald Norman, who was involved in an early Bitcoin exchange with Amir Taki," and he said, "You gave me a bit of a scare. We are all being as legally diligent, and we follow the KYC Know Your Customers laws. We're basically doing nothing that the digital gold companies aren't doing, and we have all the money, unlike eGold." Smiley face with a tongue out. Then he goes on saying that eGold committed gravely criminal and immoral deeds. We haven't done anything immoral or criminal, which again is ironic because we're mainly talking about the criminality of money laundering here, that a Bitcoin exchange would potentially be involved in, not the other immoral activities. And he goes on and on about why people get sued, the hot coffee, OJ Simpson, Liberty Dollar, the Liberty Dollar story, thinking it's a martyr. It's interesting to see eGold and Liberty
Mm.
Dollar discussed, which
It's
are two
also
of
it's
the things.
interesting to be them spoken about in kind of a present tense because it wasn't that long ago that I suppose eGold was about when the email was written.
And it's also quite possible that Epstein knew about eGold, knew about Liberty Dollar, and that he was up to date on digital currencies generally. And again, just to date this email, this is 2011. So this is an incredibly old email to be into Bitcoin and to be talking about these things. I
I
think
guess
what's kind of
if they'd spoken to him as an investor, maybe he was had some reservations around the legality of an exchange, a Bitcoin exchange. Um, Anti-back, the legalities of a Bitcoin exchange, and then Norman was trying to put his mind at ease by saying that we're not doing anything criminal, and then maybe trying to kind of separate himself and the Bitcoin exchange from eGold and the complications which they had.
It's also, and again, at the time, Epstein was a financier. It's amazing how bad it looks that Amir is friendly with him and sending him links like, hey, check out the Bitcoin. Maybe you haven't seen this. Unfortunately, this is the third and last page for what we believe to be Amir's alias, Jen Jinx. The most interesting email, again, as Ben said, we found from Jeffrey Epstein to Jen Jinx, or Jen Jinx. I'm probably saying it wrong. My apologies. It says, are you still playing in the Bitcoin space? Where are you? I have Andy back on my island this weekend. So I'm sorry, Adam, back to find this. It was not our goal to find this.
I mean, it's
And
not, to be fair, it's not Adam, but it's Andy back. So
does say Andy.
it just say Andy.
So obviously we want to do now Andy back.
Adam back even.
Well, two things.
Oh,
These are the same emails. So they seem to be in dataset 9 and dataset 10. As I said before, we seem to be seeing some duplication in these emails. They're two different versions of everything. There's this version without the black line, this version with the black line. I've also seen kind of hard drive markers where perhaps these emails were stored on a hard drive additionally, so they index them there as well. So
could you, I think we should probably, can you search Adam back?
Here we are, Adam back. And obviously 19 results. His name should appear because the guy's being emailed all these PDFs and these
go for the
articles.
third one down. Can you do the third one down? Because that's the one I had up.
Dear Jeffrey, sending joy here. It would be fun to talk. Yeah, and then this is an email chain, May 12th, excellent day in history of 2015, to Joy Ito, CC'd to Epstein from We Can't See on behalf of Seth Lloyd. This version of the email seems to be properly redacted, so we're not going to be able to copy and paste that. In there's a letter that Joy Ito wrote to someone we can't see, and he says, I think we should have a meeting with Jeremy Rubin, Adam Back, or other core developer of Bitcoin, Seth, Martin Novak, and a few others about money and the future of finance. When are you coming to Boston next, Jeffrey?
Who's this Joy character? I'm really interested to know who this Joy character is. What was that? Can you go back?
Joy Ito is a very famous computer scientist involved in MIT, and many people believe that he's a possible creator of Bitcoin.
So he's like, okay, yeah, because we all know that, Epstein liked to schmooze with the, intellectuals.
Well, these are smart guys saying smart things to him. They're talking about potentially future investments. They might want to run an exchange like those other guys. So let's see the rest of the page. There are 2 pages of Adam Back emails. Oh, here we go. This is not so good. From Vincenzo Iozzo to Jeffrey E. Subject Adam Back. I think you said you met him. And AFIK, I don't know what that means. No, Joy. Joy and I invested in his company. What do you think of him, Vincenzo?
Well, what did he think of him?
Well, let's see. Oh no, we have Jeffrey Epstein CCing. This is a letter from Austin Hill, May 1st, 2014. Jeffrey Epstein and Adam Back is CC'd. Hi, Jeffrey. Hope you're well. Things in California are progressing nicely. Expect term sheets coming this week that meet our expectations. Thought you'd be interested in this piece on the value of Bitcoin. It's so fun. Everyone's always sending him links.
Shilling. Why important Bitcoin's important.
Let's assume for the best this is an investment in Blockstream. That Adam Back and Austin Hill are being discussed here for an investment in Blockstream. Again, above the board. Same previous email. Remember, there are duplicate emails in here. Physics and money. Well, here you go. Unfortunately, again, Mr. Epstein responds to Vincenzo and says, like him. So Adam Back is liked by Jeffrey Epstein. And I think, Ben,
breaking news.
I do want to go back to our earlier message where it was Andy Back who allegedly, according to this email, went to the island. And I want to say that it seems now very likely that Adam Back met Epstein, knew Epstein, and went to his island for business purposes. From what we understand here, we have no information beyond, and this is all Justice Department emails. This is not us.
Which is and also may I say, this is very typical. If you're doing an investment round for your company, you meet dozens of, I mean, with Alan Bitts, I had like, I don't know, 30 meetings. And some of the people you meet may be thoroughly scrupulous, horrible people, and you don't know that. You know, they're just someone who has money, and someone's forwarded you their connect as them as a connection. But what I find interesting about all this is, I always kind of thought, well, Epstein, he's just this guy who, got a bunch of dirt on people. That's how he got his funds. That's how he got his money. But clearly, he was actively involved in investing in companies and seemed to have his finger on the pulse if he's talking to Amir Taki, Gavin Andreessen.
We can confirm that it
Donald
does seem
Norman.
like Epstein is interested about talking about physics and money with Jeremy Rubin, Adam Back, or others. He's responded to Joy Ito. This is Joy Ito and him and some others trying to have a discussion. And again, back to scheduling. It's so funny. I wish I owned one of those calendar companies, that do the scheduling really well, because it seems like most of these emails are about scheduling. Are you free Friday? Oh, Friday's no good. How about Thursday? So, but
We should probably search. Can we search like a Mike Hearn?
sure. Let me clean up some of these Adam emails here. But I do think we've had. I do. We've had some pretty major developments here. He likes Adam Back. He had Andy back to his island. He's definitely talking to Joy Ito. He's connected to Amir Taki. He's talking to Taki. Taki's friends enough with him to send him links or trying to get him to invest. Respect. Gotta hustle. Adam Back is included on some of these emails. I think we have another page. I think this is a. Let's look at these. Yeah, not the first time I've done an email production. Maybe an interesting one. Ooh, it's a big black one. Here we go. It's business information to Jeffrey E. from Austin Hill. And Austin Hill's Blockstream, right, Ben? That's Adam's partner on Blockstream. We're down to the wire closing this round, 10 times oversubscribed. So it's going very well face to face. So this is just investment information of Jeffrey Epstein investing in Blockstream, which I think we pretty much already
Go
knew
go
about.
back, go back, go back. I
Okay.
wanted to read the rest of it. So what's this? Sorry, so an $18 million seed round. Um, Told us to bump your allocation from 50K to 500K. Wow. Oh, so that's Epstein. He wants to invest 500,000 in Blockstream. I
Causing no
suppose that's
small
one.
amounts of headaches, but blank and I. Again, this name should not be blacked out. This person is presumably a business person, not a victim. And I respect you both and have learned so much from you in our discussions. We have everyone else take a haircut to make room. So that's pretty bad too. From this email, what it seems to be saying is that Epstein was able to purchase 10 times more Blockstream stock than perhaps others, and that he received what seems to be preferential treatment here
But
because of his
again,
insider status.
having been through this game, like of talking to VCs, that is a very typical email you would send. We're oversubscribed, but because we like you, we'll make room for you. And yeah, everyone else is going to have to suffer and take a haircut, but we really love you. Thank you for the $500,000 check. So that doesn't necessarily mean this is true. It's what he's saying to the billionaire to get investment for Blockstream potentially.
Absolutely. And Dr. Adam Back is CC'd on this email. Thanks, Austin. Sandy and Jeremy are doing the legal paperwork on our end, adding them to the thread, says Joy. So he's just facilitating this investment of Mr. Epstein into the Blockstream company. Well, this is interesting. It looks like we have reservations for the Ritz-Carlton for you, presumably Epstein, Mr. Hill, Adam, and Kelly and Elena.
What's
I
this
thought
for?
they, I thought they blocked out all the names of the victims.
They're
It
not, they
seems,
might not be victims, to be fair. So,
well, maybe they're VCs, but it seems like it certainly just says Adam, but unfortunately, his full name must be in here because it came up on the search. Oh, here it is again. Is this the information you requested? Adam back. Good morning, Daphne. Pride to meet you. We would like to have 4 rooms. Kelly and Elena don't mind sharing a room with double beds. Um, I'm not sure what's
no,
going on here,
that's not just because they're women. We shouldn't think of them as being
but it
victims
does
or
seem
anything.
like Austin Hill and Adam Back are going to meet with Jeffrey Epstein in San Francisco. Um, and oh, here it is. Well, um,
And a few girlfriends. What's this say?
yes. Yeah,
That
fortunately
might be my girlfriends.
that's
Yeah.
from Austin Hill. So let's assume that that means like just female friends who are girls, girlfriends
Okay.
who happen to be with him, trying to figure out plans, don't want to show up with more people. Um, so it does seem like this is about a meeting at the Ritz Carlton with some room reservations to talk about Bitcoin and investing in Blockstream. Uh,
Yeah.
we have no
Yeah.
further
Girlfriends.
information,
Like
but they just have some.
I refer to my friends as who are girls as girlfriends. So I'm going to become with some girlfriends, an entourage of girlfriends.
So let's
It's so
see.
hard. It's so hard to read any of this stuff without it taking on a sinister tone. And it's just because it's Epstein shit. So a lot of this stuff is perfectly innocent VC
Well, this is
chitter
from
chatter.
Jeffrey Epstein to Daphne Wallace. It says they will pay their own hotels and flights. So, not sure what this email thread is about. It's a meeting, seems to be between Adam, Mr. Hill, Kelly, and Elena, and Epstein. And it seems like the girls and the others are not being comped. So,
I think maybe
but
should
again,
we go
it's
on, should we try let's try a different thread? I don't like this thread. It feels so dirty looking through people's emails.
oh yeah. Well,
Ugh,
this is always the thing at the law firm. Emails, hard drives, all kinds of things, and
God.
it's just like this. You follow threads, you try to find something interesting. You know, you report it back. You write down the Bates numbers of the documents you found. So this is Austin Hill writing to Alex Fowler. He's included Adam Backed, but he blind copied it or blind carbon copied it to Jeffrey Epstein. It's an idea for a TED talk to kill cancer and give it away to the world. Adam is aware of my aspirations to have this be part of our philanthropy efforts as a company, and they're talking about Blockstream, and they're wondering if they can cure cancer. And what's so interesting about this email is he blind carbon copied Epstein, which we would never know about, but we know because of this very strange email released from the United States government. That's interesting, huh, Ben? Carbon
It's,
copies Adam back, and
it is
he's
really
like,
interesting. It's too
he's like,
interesting. I think,
like you're saying. I really think that we're seeing the inside of what it's like to be a big financier. This
yeah.
Epstein character has a lot of money. People want to be friends with him, and at the same time, in the back of his mind, I don't know Mr. Austin Hill at all. He's got to be thinking he's like, I could get some sweet, fundraising for my cancer killing project. I mean, maybe if I just like drop this into the email, and so many people are trying to send him links and send him articles and
Mm.
manipulate him or motivate him.
Which is probably
So
why he sends short emails like him, rather than an actual email. Shall we trace a different thread? Um,
sure, Ben, go ahead and do some search. I'll clean this up on my end. See what else we got.
yeah. Uh, Well, there's a thing about Bitcoin regulation stuff from 2014 here. I think it shows he was probably a Bitcoiner, and we have to assume that he owned Bitcoin. If he's investing, if his investment in a company went from 50K to 500,000, a Bitcoin company, we would assume that he had a stack. Um, so yeah, I mean that's why I originally started, was thinking this doofus might have just emailed himself a Bitcoin seed, which is why I started searching Bitcoin. Give me some names from early on in Bitcoin. I think that's kind of a nice place to go.
Well, fortunately, I already looked for Thomas Hunt and Mad Bitcoins. I am not included in the Epstein files. I can proudly announce
Oh,
I am not mentioned. So this is very good for me. Other names, I don't know. I'm looking right now for Bitcoin Wallet. I'm gonna preview them first, make sure if I see any large keys of
I wonder if he went astray with
letters
the
and
Craig
numbers.
Wright shit. I wonder if Craig Wright is in there.
Craig Wright's interesting. Well, what you really want, and I looked at
No.
the other set, the J World. It's a little easier to read, and you can. It's neat because you can see when he got his first emails about Bitcoin. It's not. They're still indexing the larger system. So here's one. Yeah, this is just an email that's sent to him. Here, I'll put the screen share back up. I'm doing a search for Bitcoin wallet right now. One third of Kenyans now have a Bitcoin wallet. It's an article sent from Linda Stone to Jeffrey Epstein in July 2013. Very early. Getting some age verification prompts from the DOJ, likely the more seedy parts of this file. Um, oh, well, here's one you should search for, Ben. How about Brock Pierce?
Oh
In
God, yeah.
2014, Brock Pierce emailed Jeffrey Epstein about PayPal Financial. Brock writes, and apologies, Brock, for reading your email. Here is an example of another company I've incubated in the Bitcoin space. This deal can benefit from a U.S. issuing bank as well. Best regards, Brock Pierce. His mobile number is not blurred out. Sorry, Brock. There's some more about this. They're going back and forth about a PayPal card, PayPal Financial. Again, 2014, very early. So we should go down a Brock thing after I finish with the Bitcoin wallet. Here's Express Coin. This seems to be a pitch deck for an early Bitcoin exchange, Express Coin. This is a PDF that was sent. It's a discussion draft, April 10th, 2014. Please don't cite this. Bitcoin Financial Regulations, Securities, Derivatives, and Prediction Markets and Gambling by Jerry Brito, Human Shadeh, and Andrea Castillo. Jerry Brito is one of the first leaders of the Bitcoin Foundation, very early Bitcoiner, and this is just a PDF. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see, a little more verification here. This is a LinkedIn forward update sent to Epstein. Some of his connections must be in Bitcoin. BitGo surpasses $1 billion in quarterly transaction volume. Article shared by Brock Pierce. So Brock Pierce was connected to Mr. Epstein on LinkedIn, according to these emails.
Um,
Cryptocurrency partners. Here's an investor update
I
from.
got one here. I don't know if you can see my screen here.
All right, just a sec. Go
So it's
ahead, Ben.
Austin Hill, wasn't it? Was Austin Hill the
He
guy?
was one of the Blockstream founders, one of the founders of Blockstream.
Whether this is, we can't see the
But go
email,
ahead
so
and
we don't
share
know.
your screen. I can't see it, Ben.
I think I am showing, but if you search Austin Hill, it's like the, I think it's the first link. Let me just see. No, no, it's not the first link. If you search Austin Hill, maybe if you share on your screen so people can actually see.
I'm finding lots more fun Bitcoin pitch decks. Let's see, share screen.
Yeah,
Oh
so I
God.
found one here. This is uh, okay. So it starts off and it's hello Austin. Jeffrey Epstein will be in New York this coming Tuesday, um, April 8th. This is 2014. Might you be available to come and see him 11 a.m. at his home? He lives on the Upper East Side of the city. And then Austin says it would be my pleasure. What is the address where I should meet him? Tremendous. Driver lives at 9 to 7 East 21st Street between 5th and Madison. May I take your cell number just in case? And then my cell number is blah, blah, blah. I may have a companion traveling with me. She might accompany me if that's okay. It'll be fine if you come along and bring your friend. Could we have her name, please? Good morning. Good morning, Austin. Just to confirm. Elena Estrella. Elena Astra. Elena Astra. Oh, we heard about Elena before, didn't we? Elena Astra. Thanks. Good
The
morning,
two
Austin.
friends.
Just can we do a Google search on this Elena Astra
Let's see.
and just type Elena Astra Bitcoin. She's probably just like a
They say there's
someone working
no
in Bitcoin.
widely known public figure. There's a user with Spotify playlists.
Can we do an image search on Elena Astra? It's quite an unusual name.
It's giving us some different things that are not what you're looking for. Astra Bitcoin. It's showing it's a dead end.
Well,
Maybe
Elena Astra's dead end.
It might be misspelled here. Maybe there's a different way. He says, I mean, what's that girl, Elena, who was in Trezor? Maybe it's that girl. But it does look like Austin Hill is setting up a meeting with Mr. Epstein in New York. Again, perfectly innocent from what we know to get investment for their company, which just makes sense. Let's see. Things I might regret typing. Wow, so there's 1,816 results for Brock Pierce. So somebody's going to have to do a deep dive on that, maybe in AI. Let's just sample the first few ones from the new data set. Let's see. It's mainly, it's going to be these posts from his Brock Pierce on LinkedIn posts. Here's a meeting. Brock seems to be meeting 6 or 7. BP, a trip to New York. And again, perfectly innocent. It's fine. They're in Beijing. They're in Paris. They want to call on the right time zone. They're having a meeting. So it's just Brock Pierce meeting with Jeffrey Epstein, which is, again, perfectly acceptable. He's a financier. He's trying to raise money. Maybe Bitcoin.
There's kind of two assumptions we can make here. Either Jeffrey Epstein cast a wide net and was involved in a lot of different industries, or he is really quite interested in Bitcoin because there seems to be a lot of communication between Bitcoin companies and him.
Well, Ben, I think we've done about an hour on this now, so I think we're going to have to wind it up and describe what we learned. We learned that Jeffrey Epstein had many early Bitcoin pitch decks sent to him. A lot of people, including Amir Taki, were sending him articles about Bitcoin.
From 2011 as well,
2011, very early in Bitcoin.
But then he seemed to be a little bit skeptical about Bitcoin, Jeffrey Epstein. But then by 2014, he's having lots of meetings, investing $500,000 in Blockstream by the looks of it. Seems to have quite a lot of meetings with the Austin Hill guy. We kind of assume he had a stack. So there might be some Bitcoin out there in these files. Probably worth investigating and finding if you can.
And really the most interesting email, and again, this doesn't mean anything untoward. We don't know that anything bad happened, but it does seem like he may have met with Adam Back. The email says, from Jeffrey Epstein to Jen Jinx, which is an alias seeming to be used by Amir Taki. And Mr. Epstein writes, are you still playing in the Bitcoin space? Where are you? I have Andy back on my island this weekend. So unfortunately, and I don't know that I'll be the one to Twitter it, but maybe you guys can, somebody needs to ask Adam back if he went to Jeffrey Epstein's island. I assume that nothing untoward happened, and much respect to Dr. Back and so forth. Apologies for bringing this up by Googling the Epstein files. That was not our intention. But again, the Austin Hill's meeting with him. They're emailing him. He invested in Blockstream. The other email that's interesting that we found is that Epstein was slated to invest $50K in Blockstream, but believed in the idea so much that he wanted $500K. And as Ben says, we don't know that this is a legit email or whatever, because obviously CEOs need investment and they need to get investment. But according to this email from Austin Hill, July 15th, 2014, he says that they can bump Mr. Epstein's allocation from 50K to 500K by having the others investors take a haircut. So insider investor into Blockstream, Jeffrey Epstein, according to the brand new files. You can search the files
And
yourself.
as well for if the Andy back is Adam back, right, which we're still not certain of. Again, when you're doing the investment rounds and there's some VC, say there's a billionaire who's got an island and they say, "Oh, come to the island, hop on, have a meeting, hop off, and leave." Like it doesn't implicate anyone, and I think it's just. And I'm not being like an apologist here. I'm just saying that you see everything as being corrupt because of the person who, is obviously. It's not like every single person Jeffrey Epstein had a meeting with who was complicit in, um, uh, uh, yeah, all the horrible things which we found out about Jeffrey Epstein. So I'm not being an apologist here. It is interesting that he invests. I think the interesting point, because there's no real connection there on, the horrible stuff, but the interesting connection is that Epstein was clearly interested in Bitcoin early on. And then there was a bit of a journey there. And by 2014, he was kind of, an all in, believed in the technology, was having emails with Jeremy Rubin and Brian Bishop about technical subjects, and in quite a familiar way. And then was having Andy back to the island for a meeting. So, yeah.
Yes,
There'll be a Bitcoin stack.
Amir Taki
There'll be,
seems to have been very successful in convincing Jeffrey Epstein to invest in Bitcoin and Bitcoin companies. He seems to have invested in Blockstream, according to the emails, and corresponded with Amir, corresponded with Brock, and had Andy back out to the island, according
I
to
also
the email.
found I also found a deck for Coinbase in there as well. So he may have been an investor deck. So he may have also been an investor in Coinbase. Maybe Brian Armstrong is worth looking up. We could just pick the sort of sleaziest people in Bitcoin. Oh no, Jerry Armstrong. Brian Armstrong's clean. We could just pick some of the sleaziest people in Bitcoin and then search for them in the records, see if they
I've
pop
got
up on the island.
17. I've got 17 results for Armstrong, but they mainly look like articles that have been forwarded to him.
Yeah.
The Coinbase letter seems like he might have been a subscriber to the Coinbase letter at some point.
Oh, Peter
Um,
Todd.
oh yeah, you wanted to
Ooh.
search Peter? Let's see. I'm still looking at the
There's
Brian
only one.
ones. It looks like Brock for. Oh well, let me screen share here so you guys can see what I'm seeing. We'll experience it together. It says from Brock Pierce to Jeffrey Epstein and Richard Kahn, and it's a forward of the Coinbase investor newsletter. It's kind of interesting to see. This is 2015, and this is from Brian Armstrong, presumably sent to inside investors like Mr. Pierce. And it says, how much money does Coinbase have in the bank? 70 million. How much revenue did we make last month? 400K. How much cash did we burn? 2 million. Projected months of runway, 34. Salary
Jesus.
employees, 96. Primary growth method, number of Bitcoin traded. What did our primary metrics grow last month? 7.5%. So this is a really neat. They also expanded buy-sell functionality to Liechtenstein and Slovenia and support for 3D secure cards for users in Europe. This is not directly from Brian Armstrong to Jeffrey Epstein, but was forwarded from Brock Pierce. So it's kind of neat as a person that's into Bitcoin to see like an OG letter like this, of what it's like to be an investor in Coinbase. It would have been
I
cool.
like how lean the investor update is because they got so much money in the bank. He's like, he doesn't have to send a flashy investor update. He's just like, yeah, 70 million in the bank, 34
Oh
months
yeah.
runway,
Well,
nicest
and it's
employees.
very. I feel it's very executive. It's like a very busy person could read that and say, "Ah, things are going well at Coinbase, or they're not going well." And then here's Brock dutifully forwarding the August letter on to Mr. Epstein. Um, that's it. Here's July. Doesn't have September. We'll request it now. and there's another one of those LinkedIn ones. So not that much more. This is the Brian Armstrong search that we're on behalf of Armstrong. Let me see. Let me close out some of these. I've got too many tabs. You can always search back and pick up the Bates number or the catalog number on the corner of these pages to help you find them in the collection if you're interested in doing your own research. Latest update. Coinbase has $60 million, 850K made last month. That's twice as much. They're only burning $1 million now. Their runway is up to 50, and they have 91 employees. So interesting to see. You could pretty obviously go through and take all these and make a little chart of what it was like behind the scenes at Coinbase back in the day, given this new information that we never had before. Additional letters. It mainly seems the Brian Armstrong mentions are Brock Pierce sending the investor letters to Epstein. It's funny. It's so funny. Like we don't really know how much money Epstein controlled or had or whatever, but all these people really seem to cater to him in the emails. And this isn't like, this isn't like here's the Coinbase preferred stock purchase agreement from December 2013. So that's interesting. Standard business document. Here's an MOA, a memorandum of terms for the stock. I was hoping it was going to show us how much perhaps Epstein purchased, but this is another kind of generic PDF document. Not very interesting. We've got a request in the chat. I like this one. They've got some good requests, but let's start with Hal Finney. And again, hoping for nothing here, right? Oh, here we go. Hal Finney. Looks like it was one of those articles or something. Yeah, it's a Alphabet Currency Fund. Hal Finney. It's a launch in 2009. It's a calendar, and it says, very first Bitcoin transaction between Satoshi and Hal Finney. So Hal Finney is mentioned once in the Epstein files, and it is not a negative mention. Way to go, Hal. Let's. I don't think you guys can like this, but we'll give this a try. Calvin Air.
Oh God.
Oh, thank goodness it says no results. So maybe there's a variation of his name or something. You guys can go further down the rabbit hole, but from this initial light search, we say he's not there. Tether.
There's an interesting one here in a reply to Jeremy Rubin, but this is 2015, and yeah, this starts to reassert my initial instinct that Epstein's just a bit of a doofus. But so he replies to Jeremy Rubin on the game theory approach to Bitcoin, and he says, one weakness in the game theory approach is it does not have an observer. It is the right strategy to always play rock if you would like the observer to think you are an idiot. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? So clearly he's thinking about game theory. So this is after Jeremy Rubin forwarded a whole bunch of documents about Bitcoin to Julian.
It's funny how much history is contained in these LinkedIn updates that Brock Pierce keeps sending. It says Brock's new job. Brock is now a chairman at kncminer.cn. Way to go.
Chairman Brock.
Chairman Brock. And we did search a second ago for Tether. Didn't really find anything. Ross Ulbricht didn't really find anything. Kind of looked like articles about him. We did a search here for Dread Pirate Roberts. Didn't really find anything. Looks like an article accusing Ross of being a DPR.
What about Charlie Shrem? What about Charlie Shrem?
Well, shout out to Ryan in the chat. He's given some good ideas. I'm sure Charlie Shrem will be here. He says in the chat we should look for Roger Ver. So here we go.
Oh God, yeah.
We've got 3 results. Preliminary. They look like they don't look like emails to me. They look like articles or PDF type mentions. In the LinkedIn updates, let's see. Roger Ver seems to be. Oh, Brock shared an article about Roger. That was close. And then it looks like the next one. Brock Pierce's new skill. Brock shared an article about Meet Bitcoin Jesus, the Roger Ver selling. He believes selling drugs on Bitcoin is okay, and that the complex currency will revolutionize ... So that's funny.
Eric
Bitcoin
Voorhees,
rate.
Voorhees is one to look for.
Let's see.
So who's
Eric.
the first? Because he was the first to kind of like sell a company
It's
for
I either spelled it wrong or he's not
K.
in
He's
there.
with a K. You need a K. So Eric with a K, isn't
Oh,
it?
that's
It's
not
got a
the
funny
part I
spelling.
spelled. I thought I spelled wrong, but try that again. Somebody else out there. Um,
Eric
what's the one you said?
Voorhees.
Charlie
Yeah, it's with a
Shrem.
K. It's with a K. Just do it again with a K. Two
Oh,
O's,
let's.
two E's, and a K.
Oh, I did it with a K. It didn't come up. Let's see.
Two
No,
E's, two E's, two E's. Ooh.
these look like articles. Offhand, it would be nice, and maybe they'll have this in another the J World search. If you could have it not search the articles or only search like receivers, because it's much more interesting that who's emailing him directly.
This is
Oh
2013.
wow.
Interest in my views of Bitcoin has reached its peak about 2 months ago. When I talk about Bitcoin's reached the peak in the areas along the highway 101 Peninsula.
Well,
Go on,
you
you
know
read
what's
it.
interesting about this one? Jumps right off the page to me. This guy Tren Griffin, is emailing Bill Gates about Bitcoin. It says subject Tren on Bitcoin. So let me look here.
Oh God,
Tren.
Bill Gates is in the two here.
Yeah, Tren Griffin works at Microsoft. He writes the 25 IQ blog and is active on Twitter. A former partner at Eagle River, a private equity firm. So he's, it says he's a business consultant and owner, worked for Microsoft for decades. And these are his thoughts about Bitcoin that he emailed to Bill Gates on April 13th, 2013. That's like a week before Mad Bitcoin's launched. So, um,
Coincidence?
yeah, he's thoughts on Ripple, tweets on Bitcoin. And again, none of this should be blacked out. These are not anything to do with the victims. This is a incorrect redacting here. I don't
It's
understand.
a vibe blacking out right here. It's
Yeah,
blackout slop.
I mean, there's a lot of quotes about Bitcoin here. There's Eric Voorhees. That's how we got to here. Eric Voorhees, his name is in these quotes. Bitcoin's the Napster of payment. Charlie Shrem. We needed to be the first New York bar to accept Bitcoin.
Good old Charlie
Um,
Shrem. It's like an
Jack,
article. I think it's an article which is being forwarded, isn't it?
I like what
Jack
Jack
Dorsey.
Dorsey wrote
Look
here.
up Jack Dorsey.
All right, let's see. There's
I
Isabella
don't, I don't think we can. I
Kaminska.
don't think we can just abandon this episode, Thomas. I think we need to look up everybody.
What does it say in the chat? Oh, the chat's tired. Let's see. I get dinner before too long. This is the ECB report on Bitcoin and virtual currencies. Eric Voorhees' name mentioned again, but in a report.
Yeah.
And more Brock Pierce's new skill. So not that much there for Eric Voorhees. What was your next name, Ben? Probably maybe the
Jack
last name.
Dorsey. Jack Dorsey. Let's do Jack Dorsey, and then we'll leave it at that.
He's too big though. He'll be in like
We'll be in
a bunch
loads.
of articles and stuff.
It's
69
only emails
results.
though.
They've presented us with a rather poor search engine. Oops, sorry everybody. Jack. No, they're well. This looks like a forwarded message. It seems someone named Ian Osborne is asking Jack to tweet to the president. It starts here. Someone says, the president tweeted, "Welcome to France, Jack. He should retweet and answer, don't you think?" This is Nicolas Sarkozy, the president of France. And this is from Nicolas Princet, an unknown name, 2012, to Ian Osborne. Would they mind retweeting? And finally, Jack Dorsey replies, "Done." And then Ian Osborne sent this to two of Jeffrey Epstein's email accounts, or sent it to him twice. about that he got the Jack to reply to the French president. So that's an interesting kind of a Twitter insider thing. Not certainly not bad for Jack or anything, but that's I searched for from Jack Dorsey, which allowed me to actually find an email that he wrote.
Ah, yeah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, juicy
Um,
stuff. I mean, if there was ever I mean, a Netflix documentary on, well, not documentary, a dramatization of the of Epstein, it could write itself, really, couldn't it? Just from the email correspondence.
well, I just think that Lola should mention us in the article. This information was first published on World Crypto Network, January 30th, 3:55 p.m., 2026. We don't even know what year it
Breaking.
is.
Yeah.
Breaking. Andy Back may have gone to the island. So, so guys, don't give Adam too much of a hard time. They say Samson Mao. I'm sure Samson's not in here. He
Oh,
also
please
has
look
a
for Samson Mao.
very great, yeah, no results found for Samson Mao. He has a very
Do a
distinctive name as
John
well.
John Cavallo. Do a John Cavallo. Trying to think of like
No,
early
no,
Bitcoin
no.
people. No.
We'll do a search
Mushroom Connection is
again.
interesting.
But
Awesome.
thanks to Ryan for joining us in the chat. He says it's good fun, all this digging, and you can do your own search at the Justice Department or at that J World email thing. They're upgrading it. It's a Gmail, jmail.world, and they're adding the new data sets. We did this today because they released 3 new data sets today, and we were curious to see what kind of Bitcoin mentions or Bitcoin people were tied up in the Epstein file. We believe all of these mentions to be innocent. These are businessmen trying to talk to a businessman to get him to invest. They have to say things. They're clearly buttering him up. It's neat to see Amir dropping links and dropping little curiosities. These are amazing Bitcoin history as well from like 2011, 2013. These are incredibly early emails for these guys to be talking about Bitcoin or anything. So check it out at the Justice Department webpage. Please don't sue us. And I hope that Lola mentions us in the article, and I hope she writes a big expose. And I hope Adam and Andy doesn't get in a lot of trouble because he's a good guy. And of course, we don't know anything about what he's up to, but we hope he's still a good guy. And shout out to Hal Finney for not being in the articles. That's a great thing for Hal.
And you, Thomas, you weren't in the articles
And me,
either.
not in there. No mad
Yeah.
Bitcoins. Although I would have loved it if he's like, oh, I watched the Mad Bitcoins YouTube. That guy's an idiot. Bitcoin is stupid. That would have made my day. But oh well. But thanks to everyone for joining us. Give us a thumbs up and a share. What do you think about Googling Jeffrey Epstein for Bitcoin? You could do it yourself, play the home game. Let us know in the comments or on Twitter if you find any interesting articles. We might put out those Andy Back ones. But again, it is a historical fact. They were just Blockstream trying to raise money, from what we understand. So, thanks so much to Ben for joining us and for having this idea, which we weren't sure was a good idea, but it was pretty interesting. I thought
Pretty
the
fun.
email, the
Pretty fun.
searches turned out good. So,
I mean, this
thanks
is
so
just
much.
an hour in, isn't it? If you did like a deep with all the names of Bitcoin from early on, from 2011 to 2014, I bet there's all sorts in there which we've missed. So yeah,
Well, and searching for
definitely.
misspellings, trying to
Yeah,
figure out
yeah.
aliases. Not that we're some great searcher or anything, but looking at Amir's email, seeing that he was using an alias, and then typing in the alias led to some more interesting emails. And I'm sure there's lots of other opportunities for people to do that in the files. So happy searching. Until next time, bye
Bye
bye.
bye.